In a recent video, I mentioned I feel way more satisfaction doing high-level content in Final Fantasy XIV than in WoW. But I also realized I feel the same way in the easy content. And I think that's an important distinction because way more people are going to experience the easy content. And sometimes easy content is what I want. I know when I'm super stressed from real life stuff like work, I want my gaming to be pretty chill and relaxing. So some kind of mindless grind or face roll dungeons can be really nice to chill out and just press some buttons. First, what I mean by easy content is content that's meant to be beaten. Normal dungeons, story scenarios, LFR in WoW, Alliance raids in 14. You might wipe once or twice when it's brand new, but it's not made to be a huge obstacle. It's made to be beaten. What I noticed while leveling different characters in Dragonflight was I found no fun in the normal dungeons. I had fun doing them with friends, but that's because my friends were fun, not because of the dungeon. And then I went to do my expert roulettes in Final Fantasy XIV, which is just a random current dungeon, and had a great time even though I've done dozens of them. Hell, sometimes I'll do an expert roulette when I'm already capped on my weekly tomestones, just because I feel like it. So I started wondering, what's the difference? Why does the easy content in 14 give me that feeling of satisfaction, while normal dungeons in WoW cause me to watch my other monitor? The answer I came up with is, even though both are meant to be beaten, Final Fantasy XIV's mechanics are clearly pass or fail. I understand exactly how to do the bosses correctly, and it feels good to do them. If I fail mechanics, I know, because I get a vuln stack and I'll be punished if I do that multiple times. On the other hand, in WoW, the easy content just isn't dangerous at all to the point where I don't know if I'm doing anything correctly or not. It's hard to tell how to exactly do bosses until you start doing Mythic Plus. While leveling my first character in Dragonflight, I sometimes killed bosses without realizing they were bosses. To be clear, I'm not saying that easy content should be hard. That defeats the point. What I'm saying is that even easy content should be satisfying to do correctly. Here's an example. Here's a boss in Final Fantasy XIV that shoots lasers from the sides. All you gotta do is look to see where the double lasers are pointing and stand to the side of that. Super easy mechanic that is obvious after the first time you see it, and feels super satisfying to do every time I run this place. Every boss in recent years in Final Fantasy XIV has multiple mechanics like this. Now, let's look at a normal boss in WoW.
My allies sacrificed themselves so that I could return these eggs to their natural state. You will not interfere! I consume you! I am sorry, but I need your strength, little ones! These belts are pure. They will show you the truth.
Was that a boss? Or was that trash? It felt nice AoEing the ads, but I mean, it's just not very satisfying overall. I don't feel anything from that. Again, I want to emphasize, I'm not saying that the answer is to make things harder. I'm specifically talking about intentionally easy content here. My point is that more difficulty doesn't mean more fun, and the inverse of that is easiness doesn't have to be boring. In Final Fantasy XIV, I get a good similar feeling of satisfaction from doing boss mechanics correctly, regardless of if it's in normal story mode or savage difficulty. In WoW, I couldn't tell you half of what bosses do, and that doesn't feel good.